Rejection is an inevitable part of life that everyone encounters. Yet the sting of dismissal or criticism can also impart invaluable lessons if we approach it with a Stoic mindset. As the ancient philosophy reminds us, adversities are the fire that refines character, clarifies purpose, and forges wisdom. In this video, we'll explore 12 ways that rejection and failure can empower personal growth rather than diminish self-worth when viewed as feedback and opportunity. By leaning into setbacks with courage and accountability instead of avoidance or self-pity, we can evolve resilience, self-awareness, skill sets, and even creativity over time. Now make sure you watch this video from start to finish in order to fully absorb this ancient Stoic knowledge. Thank you for watching and enjoy. Number 1. It makes you tougher. Facing rejection and adversity can be profoundly difficult. Yet the Stoics teach us these are the very experiences that forge our character and develop inner fortitude. As Seneca stated, fire tests gold and adversity tests strong minds. Each instance of rejection presents an opportunity to build mental muscle and emotional resilience. When we experience rejection, our natural impulse may be to turn inward with self-criticism, frustration, or even despair if it strikes at our core insecurities. However, the Stoics encourage us to view these moments as training for the mind. Over time and repetition, consciously overcoming external setbacks develops grit and tenacity, even in the face of external opinions we cannot control. Think of resilience like a muscle that grows stronger through resistance training. By leaning into rejection experiences with courage rather than avoidance, we expand our capacity for handling future adversity with flexibility and poise. Setbacks still sting, but their power over our inner serenity diminishes. We realize that other people's views or narrow selection criteria need not define our self-worth unless we grant them that power. The next time rejection arrives, recognize it as a test assessing your mental preparedness and emotional stability. Maintain perspective that this says little about your inherent value or potential. Then demonstrate the personal growth you've achieved by responding with confidence, optimism, and goodwill. Each small victory over external pressures builds lifelong resilience, allowing you to weather future storms. Number 2. It drives self-improvement. Experiencing rejection while uncomfortable provides invaluable opportunities for self-reflection and growth for those willing to embrace a Stoic mindset. Rather than wallowing in disappointment when rejected, intentionally shift perspective and ask yourself what skills could be developed to strengthen your chances going forward. The Stoics highlight that rejection often indicates where self-improvement is needed, rather than some irredeemable personal flaw. Set aside any shame you may feel in the moment. Objectively reflect on elements within your control that may have influenced the outcome. What knowledge could be gained to better prepare next time? Are there weaknesses in your public speaking, writing, or interviewing skills that extra effort could refine? Be specific. While some factors behind rejection lie outside your control, focusing energy solely on improving areas within your influence aligns with Stoic principles. Develop an optimistic growth mindset around rejection, rather than allowing it to feed your self-doubt. Set aside perfectionism. Progress requires being comfortable with failure along the way. The introvert Epictetus himself failed multiple times on his path to becoming an influential Stoic philosopher. But through persistent self-development after setbacks, he gained knowledge and skills that allowed him to successfully share timeless wisdom. Model his example. Let rejection motivate kindly accountable self-improvement, not discouragement. In this, each no moves you one step closer to future yeses. Reframe rejection as feedback offered to challenge complacency and propel your personal growth. Allow it to evolve your skills while you strengthen connection to your core gifts. You may one day even express gratitude for these pivotal launching points that forced uncomfortable yet necessary advancement. For on the other side of rigor awaits new horizons. Number 3. It pushes you to aim higher. The Roman Stoic Seneca wisely stated that no wind is favorable if you don't know your destination harbor. When we encounter rejection, it often signals that our aspirations fall short of our true capabilities. Rather than retreat, let rejection motivate aiming higher. Facing external dismissal is uncomfortable yet often necessary feedback indicating that our goals lack appropriate challenge to unlock our latent talents or determination. If achieving your present objectives feels effortless and affirmation flows freely, you likely settle for less than your abilities offer. Living boldly means pursuing missions where rejection risk looms. Epictetus himself faced intense rejection for his unconventional views, but he found liberation in defining success on his own Stoic terms rather than external opinions. After rejection, honestly evaluate if ambition exceeds willingness to endure short-term failure on the way to self-actualization. Are fears or complacency inhibiting taking calculated risks? Use rejection to inspire setting bolder visions that leverage your full range of gifts and passions. Expand time horizons to embrace long-term processes where plateaus and pitfalls await amid exponential gain. Chart new courses beyond the familiarity that brought past validation. You will know ambitions sufficiently challenge when they evoke both exhilaration and anxiety in balanced doses. But rather than rejection signaling to scale back, let it ignite resolve to scale up. Stay grounded in self-trust and take pride in undertaking what few dare just to retain comfort. For through tests of skill and spirit we unlock our highest potentials. The harbor awaits beyond sight. Now chart the course. Number 4. It helps calibrate your self-assessment. Rejection delivers an invaluable gut check on how our self-perception aligns with external reality. Rather than only seeking validation, embracing rejection provides candid feedback for accurately calibrating our talents, performance, and readiness. The Stoics knew that continual progress requires sober self-assessment to complement inner confidence and ambition. Periods of rejection indicate that our self-concept exceeds current abilities or alignment with wider selection standards. But this data is a gift, allowing us to evolve sensibly. When rejection arrives, avoid overwhelmed emotional reaction. Instead, catalog rationally what specific skills, traits, or outputs apparently require developing based on the feedback. Do so without self-judgment to support growth. Identify patterns across multiple rejections to prioritize areas for improvement too. While some rejection causes lie fully outside our control, if certain shortcomings regularly surface, it's vital to address them. This could mean acquiring new knowledge, evolving communication style, or working on weaknesses. Times when we believe ourselves ready yet results say otherwise, provide reality checks to remain grounded. The upside of calibrated self-awareness is it allows accurately adjusting goals, timelines, and self-talk to what is realistically achievable at the moment. Self-validation feels good temporarily, but in the long run, external feedback filters grandiose notions, allowing us to set authentic targets and fulfill our potentials. Remember, even time-tested phenomenons like planes or software require regular calibration and debugging. Likewise, view rejection as providing data to continually fine-tune your trajectory rather than attacking your value. With this mindset, external dismissal serves you rather than defining you. Number 5. It builds empathy. While painful in the moment, surviving rejection and external dismissal builds profound empathy and understanding that serves us in uplifting and connecting with others. By walking through the valley of failure, we can relate to those struggling alongside us with greater compassion. The Stoics knew that truly developing wisdom means maturing self-awareness and emotional intelligence alongside logic and critical thinking. Experiencing dark nights of rejection humanizes us in ways continuous success rarely does. We feel the sting of not meeting expectations, the frustration of having weaknesses exposed, and can identify with those similarly judged. Consequently, when others experience rejection, we can apply this emotional resonance to support them with authenticity and grace. Having endured the storm ourselves, we can compassionately listen rather than debate whether reactions are reasonable. We can share our struggles, survival tools, and reassurance rooted in lived truth. There is a temptation when one finds success to believe one's good fortune resulted purely from virtuous choices. But tasting rejection reveals external variables, and luck often play deciding roles. This humbles arrogant tendencies and nurtures demonstrating greater generosity of spirit toward those still fighting their way upward. While rejection itself may arise from a lack of empathy in others, leaning into the distress with openness builds connection, understanding, and our capacity to inspire those also navigating life's trials. For in lifting each other, we rise together, and from compassion emerges community. Number 6. It shows you what doesn't work. The Stoics viewed adversity and failure as vital learning experiences rather than soul-crushing setbacks. Every rejection brings future success closer by showing us what does not effectively resonate at this moment. We eliminate dead ends to redirect energy where our gifts create value. Rather than instantly concluding deficiencies lie within ourselves when rejected, pause objectively. Was the message communicated clearly? Did the audience represent your target demographic? Get granular in understanding the mismatch to derive useful intelligence for future efforts. Catalog what offerings, formatting, positioning failed to ignite interest based on the rejection. Do this without self-judgment, simply analyzing the data. Look for any encouraging signals amidst the no. With empirical calm rather than despair, determine what does not suit current tastes or needs. The goal then becomes systematically testing variations to uncover what makes souls sing. Adopt a detective mindset, noting how slightly tweaked variables influence reception and refine accordingly. This helps determine both what to lead with and what to leave behind when sharing your full gift set with the world. Reframe rejection as ruling out pathways unlikely to fulfill purpose so you can redirect precious creative energy toward nobler impact. Fail small and fail fast to accelerate the arrival at formulas that resonate. Each no thus serves you, as long as adjustment follows insight. For each rejection deduces areas of disconnect between expression and audience. Closing this gap brings you one step closer to the elusive marriage of value offering and value received, from which flows calling and compensation. Discard the rest with faith. Number 7, it makes success sweeter. Legend holds that Thomas Edison failed over 10,000 times inventing the light bulb, yet without knowing defeats, his ultimate triumph would hold no weight. The bitterness of rejection intensifies the sweetness of success. By weathering the storm, clear skies feel like blessings rather than entitlements. The Stoics knew the human spirit requires opposition to unlock its highest heights of excellence and fulfillment. Muscles strengthen against resistance, not isolated in comfort. Each rejection tests dedication to purpose and builds reference for gratitude when aligned efforts finally yield results. When we endure dismissal and upended expectations on the path toward goals, anxiety and uncertainty infiltrate even as determination persists. But conquering doubt and frustration to demonstrate merit despite adverse opinions makes victory profoundly fulfilling. We feel the visceral gap between external skepticism and belief in one's capability and calling. Overcoming rejection requires drawing deeply from inner wells of self-trust when the outside world reflects back doubt. But miraculously converting no's into yeses down the road fully validates such self-reliance. We feel the destiny the doubters missed and fulfill it. Sweet vindication. So stand tall after rejection, knowing each no moves you one step closer to the yes destined for you and you alone. Let the bitterness drive self-improvement and commitment to silencing critics. Soon their initial rejection will transform into resounding applause, celebrating your resilience and vision when proven results speak for themselves. For the fruits of adversity are unparalleled. Own them with pride. Number 8, it keeps you humble. In an age of instant gratification and seeking validation through external likes, the sting of rejection provides a vital gut check, keeping ego and self-importance from inflating beyond reality. By weathering dismissal, we stay grounded. The Stoic philosopher Seneca wisely cautioned that success leads to arrogance when we take all the credit ourselves, rather than acknowledging unearned fortune's role. Yet when our efforts meet resistance, entitlement and pride wither as we reckon with shortcomings. Getting rejected, especially publicly, confronts fantasy perspectives of our supreme talent or brilliance that isolated praise can inspire. We re-recognize the competition, other viewpoints, sheer luck swaying outcomes. Rejection offsets self-absorption by alerting us to holes in skills, knowledge, readiness. By embracing rejection with humility rather than victimhood, we sustain clear vision to keep working toward goals without complacency or angst. We understand universal human frailties, including our own, and the need for continual growth rather than completing some fictitious journey. For even time-tested luminaries experience waves of objections and setbacks, but by graciously accepting short-term no's, their students become many, and their eventual positive impact expands exponentially. For all those wondering, may rejection keep your learning curve steep and your compassion ever deeper. Number 9, it thins out the competition. The road to success in any field is lined with dreams dashed against the rocks of rejection and failure. As we seek to distinguish our talents, rejection plays a vital role in filtering down applicants to those boasting the skill and determination to reach the upper echelon. The Stoics characterized existence as an ongoing battle testing human virtue. Similarly, vying for coveted openings means confronting fierce competition. The timid and underprepared soon wash out when facing external skepticism of their abilities. Each no thinning the herd further distinguishes the committed. Pursuing elite academies, positions on championship teams, starring theatrical roles, or lucrative business ventures typically involves weathering heavy doses of rejection. Candidates must demonstrate resilience and supreme confidence to persevere where others relent. But as spots grow scarce, the cream rises. Rather than recoiling from constant roadblocks, view them as affirming your worthiness to be among the few considered viable for rarefied air. Let thin skin and short memories disqualify the competition, so when acceptance finally arrives, you enter unimpeded by contenders who could not handle the trials. The next time rejection strikes, recognize the setback as confirmation of your refusal to settle for mediocrity in skills and mindset. Savor the filtering process, clearing your route to the top. Then confidently continue ascending while looking down upon those unwilling to pay adversity's going price. The summit clears for those equipped to climb. Number 10. It rids you of the wrong opportunities. The Roman Stoic Seneca wisely stated, "Luck is what happens when preparation meets opportunity." Yet amidst chasing openings, we often force possibilities not aligned with our strengths or purpose. Rejections thus provide hidden protection, diverting us from waste. In the rush to capture coveted roles, secure funding, or scale platforms, we sometimes overlook mismatched values or inadequately validate propositions. But the sting of rejection disrupts assumptions, sparing us years laboring for hollow, unsustainable pursuits. By shutting doors, rejections divert momentum away from appealing yet ultimately unfulfilling paths, drawing only on surface strengths rather than our core genius. They prevent investing irreplaceable time, reputation, and resources trying to jam square pegs into round holes. When dismissed from the sparkling chance, pause and breathe deeper. Might this actually liberate you to finally explore truer callings seeded long ago? Could rejecting existing constraints reveal openings through which you can apply hard-won experience toward at last, uplifting humankind? For each rejection holds potential to help you shed expectations, comparisons, and fears, allowing your purest talents to shine. Unhook from timelines set by others and tune inward to your complex rhythm. With self-trust, each no guides you toward nobler, enduring yeses destined solely for you. Destinies reveal themselves through closed doors. Gaze wisely at what opens beyond. Number 11. It sparks creativity. The Roman Emperor Marcus Aurelius famously faced heavy criticism from senators for his unconventional leadership style and progressive ideas during his reign. But he persisted, undaunted, in applying his Stoic principles to governance, knowing initial rejection often greets innovation. In time, his endurance would transform skepticism into veneration. The Stoics saw society and human understanding as evolving organisms, requiring visionary outliers to introduce concepts a culture is not yet ready to comprehend properly. Rejection greeting radical thinkers is predictable, no matter the merit of unseen perspectives. Yet by weathering resistance, they slowly expand mindsets. Marcus rejected conformity and carefully crafted new models of tolerance, compassion, and integrity, despite facing condemnation for threatening convention. But as results spoke, opponents adapted. He leaned into dissent to hone approaches respectfully, aware half-steps eased unfamiliar concepts into acceptance more smoothly than aggression. In the throes of objection, recall visionaries like Aurelius who were deemed crazy before their steadfast clarity converted skeptics. Resist dismay. Rebuild and reinvent continually, letting inspiration guide incremental alignment to resonate with popular consciousness. Have faith. Truth prevails. Soon cynics may embrace the once inconceivable concepts you foster that later fuel progress. For all modern marvels, from moon landings to the internet itself, emerged from early confusion before capturing hearts and minds. But their fruits depended on stubborn nurturing despite surrounding weeds. So persist boldly when your creativity meets knee-jerk resistance or mockery. Channel passion into solutions instead of conflict. Plant seeds whose value outlasts you via empathy and wisdom that withstand shallow times. If worthy, they will in due course grow into mighty oaks. Number 12, it forges mental toughness. Facing rejection forges that mental steel expected of leaders in any field. Confronting external criticism builds grit, just as muscles require resistance training for strength. Though rejection stings our ego, Avoiding such discomfort stunts growth. By leaning into controversy and unpopular stands with poise, self-doubt recedes before the fire of moral conviction. Our skin thickens as confidence in personal authority grows. Marcus Aurelius faced consistent rebukes from Roman senators for his compassionate leadership, yet he let condemnation bounce off his Stoic shield, driving him deeper into applying timeless wisdom to govern more consciously. Criticism affirmed his daring rather than limiting it. The next wave of innovators must welcome fierce rebuttals as signaling the necessity of their work. For all groundbreaking ideas meet scoffs by definition before slowly converting the culture. But with consistent calm and facts, mental muscles develop even to sway such opposition in due course. Moderate, consistent exposure to being challenged publicly immunizes panic and insecurity, nurturing courage and converting hostility into curiosity rather than fear about the unprecedented. So sharpen mental reflexes by sparring with vocal skeptics, rather than surrounding oneself solely with devotees. For the friction bred from dissent becomes the stuff of legends who live larger than lone lifetimes, by weathering temporary scorn to reveal light too bright to ignore. The torches await their next history-shifting carriers. Who dares to pick one up? If you are listening to this, thank you for staying till the end. If you feel any of these Stoic lessons resonated with you today, feel free to start a Stoic discussion in the comments. I welcome Stoic discussions as they are what the great Stoics like Marcus Aurelius and Seneca advised for. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like, and if you want more content like this, subscribe and hit the bell. Thank you for watching, and as always, I hope you find peace and serenity in the Stoic ways.